Hello, this is Dr. Julia Hunter again, and one of the things that I want to download about is threads that you put in your skin. And the reason is because a lot of people are very interested in the results, but they're terrified of what are threads that I put under my skin. And so I want to allay your anxieties and tell you why I'm a huge fan, why we use them and when we use them and how we interface them with technology so that if they're the best tool for your job, then you know that you don't need to worry about being fearful. So first of all, what sort of threads you use is very important, okay? Now, I use the ones that are made out of PDA, which basically you do put them under the skin, absolutely, but it's the same thing that they have used to sew up arteries for years and years and years. And so when you sew things up, the body absorbs them and it responds positively, makes collagen. And so that's the same thing they do when you put them underneath the skin. So how do we do it? What do we do? Okay. So if people come in and despite technology genetically, because we all have genetic challenges. So if you've got jowls because you don't have good cheekbones, or your cheekbones are starting to dissolve because everything starts to dissolve from laterally and over here, to the middle. If the fat is going away, oftentimes despite skin products, despite internally being optimized, despite technology, which we've gone through in the laser one, you still have jowling, okay? Or you still have, you want your neck to be tighter. Well, remember, first of all, that necks, part of what gives people a problem with their necks is you have a platysma muscle here, which is this whole part of your chest and whatever. And in some people, it genetically fails. It's a tiny little fibers of muscle that are woven into the skin. And some people, it fails. They get these lines here and they loathe that, okay? So one of the things we do is we take these PDA threads and we put some numbing medicine in your skin. And just like when you do filler, injectables, Botox, we numb, we slide them underneath the skin. They have tiny little, if you run your fingers down the thread, they have tiny little barbs that are made out of the same thread material that the body absorbs over the course of 6, 7, 8, 9 months. And those little barbs are what force new collagen production and help lift, tighten, and volumize. And so then what happens is you just lift. They cross in the middle, for instance, for the neck. And some people do that. I do that. And they lift and tighten. Okay, sometimes we put one here, because you've got to do the same on both sides. We'll put one here and here. We're lifting and tightening. For jowling, if despite everything, we'll put one that goes from way up here to down here. We'll put another one here, especially to get the nasolabial folds. We put numbing medicine. After people have the first one done, they realize it's not a big deal. And there is some pressure, okay? But it's not a painful thing. And so also when they see the results, the response is always, oh, when can I have more, okay? Because it's not a frightening thing. And so, and we talk you through it, but threads are a great solution. And so, look, in some people, depending on the size, the depth, the length, the width of your face, remember they're volumizing. And what is it? When you're younger, your skin is volumized. It's thicker, in other words. The other thing it does is it lifts and tightens. It's anti-gravity. And so immediately after we put them in, after the numbing medicine wears off, you feel it lift and tighten. And so people love that. And then over time, because it takes a good 6 months to get the full result, 3 months basically, really it takes a month for anything after we do it for you to really start seeing the result, because that's the time it takes for the body to respond. And the lower your thyroid is, the worse shape you're in, the longer it takes, but it will lift and tighten. Now, we always start with a lesser number, and then we can always put more in. We help to pull up the sides of your mouth. And remember, there are muscles underneath here. Aging is not just the skin. Aging is also the bones are thinning, the muscles are thinning, the skin is thinning, the gums are thinning, the teeth are thinning. Yeah, it's a very depressing thing, and we're doing everything we can to thwart all of that. But threads are helping the skin. If you got muscles because genetically you make a lot of frowning, or your mouth goes down because this muscle is stronger than the smile muscle, okay? Oftentimes we'll say, oh, we'll put a little bit of Botox in there. So we get the smile muscle coming up. We've got the threads pulling it all up. And then we basically don't have anything working against us. But threads, they dissolve. It's not like we're sewing. It's not that we're putting something in there you're stuck with. Now, there are threads which you are stuck with. I personally do not recommend those. There are other people who, medicine is an art as well as a science. Let them use whatever they want to use. But you can't have asymmetry. You can't have problems with one side looking weird versus the other side. And also, it's all about the experience, the competence, the artistic eye of the person who is putting these things in. Because, look, as we go down the path of life, one side is often lower than the other side. So we change where we put the threads a little bit to make you as symmetrical as possible. So you don't need to be afraid of threads. They're a really good solution. And the only other thing that's important for you to know is we time it where if we're doing technology, we can't do technology for 4 months after those threads are in, because we don't want to break down the threads faster. So we will generally do Forma or Morpheus or Accutite or whatever, and then we give it a good 4, 5, 6 months. Then if we need more, then we'll do threads. So it's timing. It's looking at you and making everybody, individualizing everybody. So don't be afraid of threads. They're a fantastic option and solution. Thank you.